Okay, so now it's recording. All right, on the test, the first 3 questions were worth 3 points apiece. Everybody close your computers for now. Okay. You'll have a chance to use them later. You'll turn in something to me digitally later. On the first 3 questions, each thing was worth 3 points. Did you do interval notation with 1 point? So if you didn't do interval notation, you lost that point. And then, did you get the right domain and range? So do you see where the 3 points came from? On 4 through 9, those were 1 point apiece. On the second page, 10, 11, 12, and 13 were 2 points apiece with some chances for partial credit. And number 14 was 3 points. 15 and 16, the multiple choices were 3 points. As was 17, 18, and 19. You did really well on multiple choice, so I wanted to make sure I counted it a fair amount so that it would balance out maybe some other mistakes you made. The bonus was worth, I think, 4 points, or 3 or 4. I can't remember what I did. Okay, now, girls,
The bonus is like, thank you.
go ahead.
If you did not something wrong on the bonus.
It can hurt you. It could only help you. So there was nothing counted off in the bonus. So count my addition and make sure I added it up right. And let me talk for a minute, okay? Daniela, what's your question? Comment?
Our bonuses on the test usually like an introduction to the next topic in our class.
Lots of times they are. I'm just kind of seeing if you can reach ahead. And this is the second time on a bonus that I've done a composite function, and some people really get them, so I did like a bigger composite function this time, and I don't even know if you need. When I do an f of g of something, or f of something, that means you're kind of working something from the inside out.
Yep.
We're going to work the bonuses, okay? Some of you, I kind of just couldn't help but give you a point. You got the right answer, but you actually got it the wrong way. But anyway, if you got a -1 for one of the bonuses, you didn't do it right, but I still just couldn't help myself but give you a point.
Wait, did I?
If you got more points than that, you'll see in just a minute. I'm going to go over the bonuses, okay? You'll see how to work them. Everybody look at page 1. I think page 1 went really well. But look at number 9. Before you even look at number 9, I want zero talking. I think you can tell this stuff's not going away for 4 years, okay? The reason I say I want zero talking is I only do things in here that are really going to matter once I start teaching. Granted, I waste a lot of time telling stories and looking at pictures and videos and stuff. But when I'm really teaching, it's like super important to you. So I wouldn't waste time to go over a test. Unless it's really important for your future math career to understand concepts that lots of people miss. Lots of people miss number 9, okay? If you missed it, I only counted off half a point if you got any part of it right. But raise your hand if you're going to play basketball this winter. All right, raise your hand if you're going to do winter track. Raise your hand if you're going to do fencing. All right, raise your hand if you're doing a winter sport. What have I left out? Swimming. Raise your hand if you're swimming. Okay, girls, we're excited you're swimming. Okay, so raise your hand again if you're swimming. Let me see. Hey, Layla. Okay.
She got so excited.
All right, you can put your hands down. Okay, because now the whole class has witnessed me looking at who all's swimming and kind of mentally taking a record of that, okay? How would the rest of them feel if then I do this for the rest of the winter until spring sports start? Well, you know, since Evelyn's swimming, I'm really going to go to watch the swim meets. Since Evelyn's swimming, I'm really just, I'm not saying all these things are going to happen. The next thing I say is definitely not going to happen. But since Evelyn's swimming, then Evelyn's not going to have any homework, okay? Since Evelyn's swimming, I'm just going to go on and give her an A on the next test. Since Evelyn's swimming, you know, I think that I'll nominate her for like student of the year. Since Evelyn's swimming, you know, I think I'll give her like my favorite coat. Okay, since Evelyn's swimming,
Your favorite coat?
Okay.
You don't do swimming.
Hey, I'm swimming. Actually, we'll do something with water today. And I can say since Evelyn's swimming, I'm going to put her cute picture in this water swimming. just not everybody at once, but just pause and think how you would feel if you were also swimming. You should be going, what? Like Evelyn didn't have to do her homework. Evelyn has this cute coat. Evelyn has, like, she's like got all this stuff. And you want to go, I'm swimming too. Okay? So I want everybody to look at number 9. Okay? Here's your graph. And have I said not to talk? Just checking? Okay, thought I had. All right, now on your graph on number 9, it looks like this. And it's got this going through it about like this. And number 9, sorry, it's kind of tilted, should be straight. On number 9, it asks you where f of x equals -1. It's like me saying, who plays volleyball? Romy. What about Morgan? What about Bridget? What about all of these people? They play volleyball too, okay? Who plays volleyball? I understand and go, Bridget. That's not fair to all those senior volleyball players, okay? So if I say, who equals -1, then what happens? I'm sorry, let me draw it a little bit better just a minute while I get it going. This was 1. And this was -1 about down here, really. I didn't draw this very well to scale. But doesn't this dot equal -1, and this equal -1, and this equal -1, and this equal -1? Why in the world are you just telling me one of them? Okay? Didn't I say what x, f of what number will equal -1? Okay? That's like me saying who's on the swim team acting like Evelyn's the only one that ever did it. All right? Didn't this person over here at about 1 have a y value of -1? This person at about 2.5 had a y value of -1. This person way out at 5 had a y value of -1. And this person back here at -6 had a y value of -1. Okay? So did y'all see why I wrote all of those things in the blank?
Yes.
I don't even know how you picked one over the other, quite honestly. All right? But it was very common. So I'm not putting you down. It's just very common. But I got to fix this. What if I said, where does f of x equal 0? Well, let me see who all equaled 0. This person equals 0. By the way, you're going to do something very similar to this today, putting dots on places for me. This person equaled 0, and this person equaled 0. If I had asked, where is your y value 0? That's what that's saying. I gave you the last name. I want the first name. It occurs when x is -5, when x is 0, and when x is 3. Does everybody see what I mean there? Okay, so whenever a teacher says f of 7, you just figure out what happens when you fill in 7. It's only talking about that point. But what if I said, where does f of x equal 7? You got to tell me, oh, well, 1 hits 7, 8 hits 7, -5 hits 7, or whatever happens. All right, do you see the difference? I could say, Evelyn's on the swimming team. It's very different. That's true, isn't it? Evelyn's on the swimming team. It's very different than me saying who's on the swimming team. Do you see how that's like a point? Evelyn's like X, swimming team's like Y. So I gave you an entire point, Evelyn's on the swimming team. But couldn't I also say Rebecca's on the swimming team, Susan's on the swimming team, Claire's on the swimming team, Marga's on the swimming team, and Jillian's on the swimming team. Did I get everybody who's on the swimming team?
Well, I'm not on something.
Oh, okay, you raised your hand.
Oh, I just thought you meant who's like I'm doing like PE.
Okay.
So like
Do y'all have
Everybody
this part?
gets beat.
Okay, so,
I thought you were
Yeah.
saying like who's doing like the sports.
well, do the winter sports have to be PE?
Yeah.
Everyone has to.
I know.
Even at
That's why I'm
practice,
saying
you're practicing.
All right, so anyway, so I could say Rebecca's on the swimming team. I gave you an X and a Y, okay? But if I say who's on the swimming team, then all of a sudden I'm asking for every X where that happens, because all you know is the Y. You don't really know which one I'm talking about. Are y'all with me there? Okay. All right, so let's move on. The second page, the answers I probably wrote on your paper if you missed those. I would say if you missed anything on the second page, just wait and meet with me right after class or come by tomorrow. And we can definitely go over that. But there wasn't a most missed item here, so I don't want to be talking to 1 or 2 people per problem. So let's move on. I'll be glad to meet with you about that. That may be like the biggest thing we need to go over. until we get to the bonus. So let's go on over to the bonus, okay? The bonus is like this. All right, so I gave you a list of points, and this is a notation a teacher can use, or you can use. I can say x, y, so I get -4, 3, -2, -1, -1, 2, 1, -2, 2, 1, and 4, -3. However, they didn't put y here. They were a little more specific. They said this is what happens when you fill in x, which isn't that how you get a y? Those two things are interchangeable. Okay, if I say f of x, that means fill in a number and get your answer. So x is your input, f of x or y is your output. These two things mean the same thing. F of x and y are interchangeable. G of x and y are interchangeable, which means I've got my answer. When somebody gives you a table, it means you have no idea what the function even was, but they've been busy filling in numbers and getting answers. Do y'all see what I mean? So they've done all the work for you. And so then when I asked you what 4f of 2 minus 5f of -1 is, 4f of 2 minus 5f of -1. So I'm saying 4, go find f of 2, minus 5, go find f of -1, okay? So you're looking for what's happened when somebody filled in 2, okay? So I'm looking down this x-axis for 2. Sorry, this is kind of off. I'm looking down this x-axis for 2, and do y'all see this is f of 2? Somebody filled in 2 and got this answer. This is x, and this is f of x. This is x, and this is f of x. So next to 2, this is f of 2. This is the answer when someone filled in 2 was 1. Now let's find f of -1. f of -1 is 2. And so you have 4 minus 10, or -6, which many people did. Get that. All right, now let's look at the next one. F of 2. That's something, Daniela, you're right, I will teach you how to do later on. It's called a composite function. They're very real world. Like, for instance, I heard one of my family members that was doing some work at our apartment the other day while they were staying with us. And I heard him talking on the phone to his working group that he works down around the Flatiron for a company called Xander. And he said, I know, but I'll use myself because it wasn't me, but I don't know who it was. But I know, but Becky Lazari hadn't got me the information yet, so I can't finish. And I would just hear his end of the conversation, but it's his job to have the presentation ready for the client at 4 o'clock. Meanwhile, he's waiting on a coworker's work to put into the presentation. So it'd be like if I said, Yana, you do this part, let me know what you get. Jillian, you call these people, let me know what they say, and I'll present it to everybody. But if I'm sitting around going, what are Yana and Jillian doing? Like, I need their stuff. So do y'all see how that's a composite function? Now, Yana could get hers right. Jillian could get hers right. In fact, a composite function might be where Yana has to give it to Jillian, then Jillian makes the phone calls and give it to me. Well, if any one of us messes up on any of that, I could be just like the most awesome person in the world, and Yana was right. She gave it to Jillian, and she was right. She gave it to me, and I could mess up, but what's it going to make them look like? Do you see what a composite function carries a whole lot of weight? Or the other thing has happened many times, and I'll show you some really horrific examples of this where people lost. They can have really bad consequences when composite functions don't go right. But suppose that I've hired these people, and I really trust them, and one person messes up their job, and they get the number wrong. They give it to Jillian. She calls all the clients and says, we'll do this for $10,000. She finds out who all agrees. She tells me, I go into the conference, and what if the number wasn't even right and the clients wouldn't have agreed to that? It all falls apart in a hurry, okay? And it wasn't even my mistake, but who's it going to make it look bad? Me. People on the other end of the conference call are going to go, who is this person? And I could say all day long, well, it wasn't my mistake. Do they want to hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a composite function. So what's happening here is let's work from the inside out, okay? And I'll teach you, you just kind of have to watch right now, all right? You don't have to do this. Right now, I've told somebody to go find f of 2. When they find it, they're going to fill it into the next person. When they find it, they're going to fill it into the next person for a final voila answer, okay? So let's just pick it apart one at a time. Let's find f of 2. All right, so I'm going to go to when x is 2 and see what someone got when they filled it in. What's f of 2? 1, okay. So I have f of f. So this is like Yana's got, I've got the answer, f of 2 is 1. Now what's Jillian's job is to go find f of 1. So she takes that answer and she goes looking. So let's go to 1. And y'all see f of 1 is negative 2. And so I'm hoping they got it right, because my only job right now is to find f of negative 2, okay? So I go down this x column to negative 2, and I find my answer, which is negative 1. So you're working from the inside out, okay? We'll practice that more later. Some of you have done it right on both times I put it on a bonus. I put one similar on the other test. But if you don't understand that, that's okay. I'll teach it one day when you really have worksheets and homework on, okay? All right, so put your test aside, please. Please, if you want to ask me quick questions after class, I can stay after class. If you want to meet with me in the morning or whatever, we can do that too, okay? Lunch tomorrow, I have a math team competition, but I could probably list for that while they're confused. Okay, now, it is.
Okay.
Let me double check.
I didn't see the dot. There was usually a
Oh, maybe no.
Okay, yeah,
It just goes away when I'm on my notebook.
it's fine. It's
Thanks. We're not gonna like press away on it now because we'll have time to work on it in class, okay? All right, now, look at this. So I am going to, we've done this a little bit before. Well, first of all, we'll watch somebody ride a roller coaster. You ready?
cool.
No, we're okay on that thing. This is for class. It's not getting really long. Just watch for a minute. See what I'm going to do with this. Make sure she's on there. So now what we're going to do is you're going to, because teachers are working, don't yell, okay? But you're just going to tell me the words increasing, decreasing, or constant. Okay?
Yeah.
Constant just means you're just going and you hadn't even done anything yet. Or maybe after a while you've done a lot of crazy stuff and they give you a little breather.
Yep.
Okay, so let's practice. Let me hear you say the word increasing.
Increasing.
You can do it a little quieter than that. Increasing. There you go. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. So be brave. If you say the wrong word, we'll just kind of giggle and go on, okay? Well, nobody said anything. It's going to be doing one of those three things, okay? That's decreasing. What's this do? Oh, I didn't say speed. What's the roller coaster doing? Kind of a little constant. Wait. I think it's still going down. I think it's down for sure. Constant, increasing. Okay, now we're gonna watch.
All right, we're rolling. Here we go, guys.
Hang on just a minute.
The Timberhawk. Ride and pray.
Wait. Claire?
Okay, if you're gonna do another roller coaster video with the increasing and decreasing, you should look up Red Ride Rocket. It's the scariest thing. Like, it's a universal.
Oh, yeah, I went on
I
that.
literally
Red
cried.
Ride?
Red Ride Rocket.
Yeah. Oh, my music didn't work out. It's Red Ride
Roller
Rocket.
coaster red.
Red what?
Red
Ride
I
Rocket.
know this.
Spell it.
R.I.P.
It's so fun. That's it. It's so scary. I know it's fun. It's on herself.
I
didn't see that. I didn't see
Oh, there is it. Go there. It's right there. POV.
Should I go to this? Oh, that's Wikipedia, never mind.
Here, look.
Yeah, right there.
So scary.
It's so fun. I went on it.
I literally want to.
Every island has a story, and if you listen, it'll speak to you.
Okay, let's just watch.
Oh no! Decreasing! Oh my god! Increasing! This is horrible! Increasing!
That's so scary. Okay, quiet. Wait. Shh, girls. We want to get to our class stuff, so I've got one more roller coaster that I want to look at. So just hang on.
I've never been to Universal.
I never went to Universal.
All right, please watch. Just watch. Girls, watch. There's a reason I'm doing this. I mean, it is fun, but there's also a reason that I'm doing it.
You guys ready?
I'm sorry, I don't know what words they're going to say, so I just turned off the. Gabby, let's watch. Okay, Victoire.
Is this constant?
You don't have to say anything. I just want you to watch the roller coaster this time. That would be constant, Victoire. This would be increasing. Gabby, you brought up a great point, and later on in calculus, we have to worry about is the speed increasing or decreasing.
Yeah, I thought that's what
Yeah.
you meant, but you
But we're talking about the roller coaster increasing. So, yeah, but I'm not really trying to get like the pleasure out of this. I'm trying to get y'all to see something. So that's okay. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Oh, it goes below the ground.
Yes, it goes underground. I think it even actually goes underwater. There's a few roller coasters that actually come to ground level and go underneath. Okay? So the whole thing that we're doing this for is what you're about to do. You are about to color. Sorry, some of you had your hands raised and probably wanted me to show a roller coaster, but I need to move on so that we can get this done. Because you have a couple of fun activities to do. All right. So you're going to see a graph in just a few minutes. Okay? And I'll ask you to color it. I'll say color it red where it's increasing. Color it maybe, you'll see the colors, I don't remember what I said. Color it green where it's decreasing. And I just ask you to color different things on the graph, okay? And so if you have colored pencils or colored markers, get those out now. If you borrow some from the back, make sure that you put them back. They've asked me not to let anybody go to the bathroom during this class for some reason. So hopefully you can hold it behind you. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's it. You can go ahead and start on it, you can talk to each other, do it together if you like. I mean, do your own accent, collaborate.
My non-existent abs. They're paid.
All right, go on and get started on this, because you have another one to do after this, it's kind of fun.
Wow.
I'll walk around if you have questions. And you can ask a friend, look and see what they're doing, if you need some help. So treat it like a roller coaster. That's it. Who's messing up? All right, everybody get one. Why do I have an extra one? Everybody got a coloring graph?
Wait, this is very good. Susan,
Oh, it won't hurt. Or I've got one extra, Bailey. It won't hurt. If you mess up, you can just correct it by going over it with the right color or something, okay?
Listing the intervals, like what would I list? Like I know their numbers.
Girls, that's a great question. Watch this. Everybody stop for a minute. Stop, stop, stop. Stop, 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 stop. And look up here, okay? All right, so do you see where this is increasing? Margot's asked a great question I forgot to talk about. Let's say this is -1, and this is -2, and this is -3, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, or something like that.
Yes.
When you say increasing, decreasing, you only use the X's. You say when it's happening, okay? So here, on this yellow, I would say this is increasing during this time frame. Do y'all see what I mean? It's like a domain question. This is increasing, like if you were telling somebody, if Claire was telling us more about the roller coaster at Hollywood Studios, she might go, for the first few minutes you do this, and then it goes through a loop, and then, do you see what I mean? Usually tell over time, okay? You would say, for the first 5 years, my company was gaining, we were earning lots of money, but the next 10 years, we lost money. So anyway, Margot, on my scenario here, I would say it's increasing from the interval from -1 to 2, and you can use parentheses, okay? You can use parentheses. You don't need the brackets right now. We'll talk about that later. So when you're telling me the interval, when it increases or decreases, you're going across like this. You're naming the X values when that happens.
Okay. And
Okay.
then for Y values. it's
You're
just-
not going to have a chance, you're not going to have a question that asks you that. I don't
Oh,
think.
so it would be decreasing.
Except for the last question. You tell me when mine would be decreasing here from this time, so that would be, it would be decreasing from -2 to -1, and then during the time frame 2 to 4.
Okay.
That would be decreasing. I'll pull up something and show you.
Is it increasing even if it's negative?
Oh, you don't care about that. It's just increasing. You could be under the water and still going up. I don't know who asked that.
Yes, list them, list all of them. From this point to this point.
I think.
No. There's Is there any for constant?
I don't think there's any constant there.
Yes, there is.
What color is it?
There is constant. You are exactly right.
But I don't know what the color is.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if there's
Oh, if I didn't say a color for constant, that's fine.
Okay, you just pick one?
You can pick a new color, yes. Good idea.
I didn't write it yet. It's just pencil for what I'm thinking. Oh, just guess. Me guess.
Okay. Oh, Gabby, I'll send you what we're doing the last few minutes.
Okay,
Okay.
so it's most likely Delta.
Most likely. And there's an activity that we're going to switch to.
Is it domain? So increasing, we from your total down. Okay. And then pick whatever you want for constant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it's what?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to show you. I'll look up here, and then Victoire can help you. Girls, look at this. Hang on, let me find the graph. Okay, look at this.
Yes.
Okay, this is a real graph. Can you see that this, what if I said, when is this company's revenue, this is income in millions of dollars, okay? I don't know what company this is. When is this company's revenue constant? Wouldn't you say from 2014 to 2015, quarter one? Do you see how we naturally go across here to say when something happens?
Yes.
When is this company's profit increasing? You would say from 2015 to like the fourth quarter of 2015. Do you see how naturally I tell you when something's happening this way? Y'all all see, oh my goodness, my company's profit is decreasing. And that would be from 16 to 17, 2016 to 2017.
Yeah.
Do you see how we naturally do that? That's what you're doing, okay? You're naming it in terms of the domain. You tell me when it happens. You're not telling me the number. I don't want the highs and lows. I want to know, oh, I'm falling down during this time. I'm rising up during this time. You're telling me when. When is it increasing? When is it decreasing? Let me give you the first answer, okay? Let me pull this up. I'll get started on it. If I can find it. I may not can find it. I'll put it into class notes. Let's do it together and you color. How about this? All right, we're going to do the worksheet together. So even if you feel like you're doing it right, please look up here, okay? If this was my profit for my company, okay, which I don't have a company. Used to have a company. We'll talk about that later, all right? So if this is 2000 and this is 2005 and this is 2010 and this is 2015 and this is $100 million and $200 million and $300 million, because I might as well, if I make believe big. Go big or go home, okay? When is my revenue increasing? Wouldn't you say from 2000 to 2005 and 2010 to 2015? I didn't ask you how much money I made. Did you say when was my company doing well? When did my company take a hit? When was my company decreasing? 2005 to, you see how you naturally do that? So I'm trying to enforce that on you now. All right, so number one, everybody color. Let me get my color. I want red. Okay, got red. Color the intervals where the function is increasing, because I want to draw your eye to it. So most of you probably colored all of these pieces red.
Yes.
Okay? The intervals is increasing. It starts right here from -6, and it increases until I get to -4. Just like this one increased from 2000 to 2005. All right, then it increased again from -2, and it kept on the increase until I got to 2. It's a whole lot easier if I have years down there, but we usually don't have years. Then increased again from 4 to 6. Do y'all see what I mean?
Yes.
The reason we put parentheses is because it's hard to include the number if it's at the very tippy top. At the tippy top, it's hard to tell if it's increasing or decreasing. And I guess technically it's not constant either, because it's gone up and now a split second later you're going down. We're not going to argue about that. We're just going to keep moving. List the intervals where the function is decreasing, and color the intervals blue where it's decreasing. I only found one on this graph. Did everybody color that part blue?
Yeah.
All right, and in the line there, it is decreasing during this time frame. You say when it's decreasing, okay? So it's decreasing during the time frame from 2 to 4. 2 to 4. It's like for 2 to 4 hours. You can think of it as from 2 to 4 o'clock, if that helps. All right, then x-intercepts. I didn't even know if y'all knew what those were for sure, but x-intercepts, the orange is going to be hard to see on this orange thing, but you can kind of see them. Okay, x-intercepts are these. These are x-intercepts. I see 2. Those are called x-intercepts. The points, can anybody tell me the points of the x-intercepts? What is this point right here? -5, 0. And what is this point right here? 4, 0. That goes in the third blank. So this goes in the first blank. Some people aren't filling this in, not quite sure why. Or did you have it right? This goes in the second blank. This goes in the third blank. All right, let's go to the fourth blank. The y-intercepts. Purple. This is called a y-intercept. That's not very purpley, sorry. Let me try a better purple. All right, do y'all see the y-intercept there? Does anybody know that point for the fourth blank? Bailey?
3.
Give me the whole point. Did you say 3?
Yeah.
Okay, Jillian?
0.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
For the other ones, we didn't say that.
Yeah, I said -5, 0 and 4, 0 for the x-intercepts. So Bailey, do you see these are my x-intercepts? And we wrote -5, 0 and 4, 0. And so for the y-intercept that you got right here, I would say 0, 3. All right, color f of 6 green. All right, so f of 6 green. Did everybody color this? That's f of 6. You go out to 6 and you go up how far? The answer to the fifth blank is just 2. F of 6 is 2. All right, color f of 6 of 1, bright pink. So I've got pink. And now what did I give you, the x or the y? The y. So I'm going to color every time I see it hit 1. It hits 1, here's 1. So it hits 1 right there. And it hits 1 right here. And it hits 1 right here. Did anybody else get all 3 places? Okay? I would name those. I think you have to estimate a couple of them. I put one at like -4.5, comma 1. The next one I got to be like 3.5, 1, and then 5, 1. Thank you, those of you that are filling in. You're going to need this. Okay, now, positive and negative. All right? Where is f of x positive? Where is f of x negative? The next fun activity that I'll explain that you'll do in the next class, or I may just give you this for homework. But I hope I'm still recording. Let me see if I am for Gabby. Okay, I'm still recording. This is land. This is water. These are trees. Okay, and people and stuff. There's fish down here in the water. Okay, so that's not really true, but I'm trying to get you to see positive and negative. All right, so as I'm in this graph, do you see how here I'm underwater? And over here, that's the only time I'm underwater. The whole rest of the time, my graph is above water on the land. Kind of bounced off the water right there, didn't I? Like if you throw a rubber ball and it hits the water and bounces off, it doesn't sink. Okay? So underwater is negative. Above the water is positive. And so where is f of x positive? Again, you're telling the domain. So I'm at this part where it says, where is f of x positive? Tell me when I get above water with this black line. Are y'all watching me? Here I go. I'm swimming, I'm swimming, I'm swimming. Tell me when I get above water. Okay, so I'm starting to get above water at -5, and I stay above water until I get to 6, don't I? Do you see how you're telling when something happens? Okay, that's where it's above water. Where is it negative? Where is it below water during this time, which is from -6 to -5? Can anybody tell me the domain of the entire problem? Margot? Okay, and so thank you so much. -6, 6 with brackets. Okay, that's the one time right now we're using brackets, and we also will in range. What I wanted to get from Margot's answer is this. The entire time on this page, we've been saying domains. We've been saying from here to here, from here to here. The only question on this test is range. Is then I would go, well, how high did the roller coaster go? Not when were you going up. Do y'all see the difference? Okay? Think about how people ask you, when was your company making money? And if you go, I made $400,000. That's not what they asked me. If they said, how much money did you make? They're asking me about the whys. But if they're asking me when it happened, they're asking me about the x's. So this whole page is about domain, except for the last question, which is -2 to 4, inclusive, bracket. Now let me show you what you're going to do for homework. Well, I'll tell you what, you'll probably do Delta Math for homework. And since I always promise all this fun stuff we'll do in class, we'll wait and do the little fun activity I created at the first of the next class. So expect Delta Math. If you didn't get this sheet filled out well, it might be good to meet with me and we can do it together. I can print you out a blank copy if you want to do that, okay? All right, so stay if you have a question about your test or your grade. Email me if you need to make an appointment. I'll post homework in just a few minutes. Bye. Bye, girls.